Okay, I'm back again, y'all. I went ahead and locked the door this time and had to go in there and do a little disciplining because I need to get this video out. So I dropped the process, the whole entire process. I just let it go. And so what I did was I was gonna go the route of reasonable accommodation instead because that would protect me from having to go and stand on my knees for a certain period of time. And by this point, my knees were completely shot. By the time I got to my doctor, he said, "Now I told you I can't do nothing else with these knees, so I'm gonna send you to a specialist." And he did. He sent me to a specialist, and I went to the specialist, and the specialist did some X-rays as well. And I guess they just diagnosed me with arthritis or something like that. And they did not right away recommend any knee replacements or surgery, but to this day, I'm still in so much pain. They gave me a steroid shot, and this time my left knee, I believe honestly that I've torn my meniscus in my left knee. But they gave me a shot, y'all, and the shot did not relieve my pain. And prior to my first surgery on my right knee, I had a steroid shot, and the steroid shot really worked wonders. I was able to go months with no pain, but this one didn't work out that way. And y'all, they denied my reasonable accommodation. It's almost like somebody trying to help you, but they got a knife in your back or something. It's like, I ain't really trying to help you, but I want to look like I'm trying to help you. And that was just the feeling that I got. But God was still on my side, y'all. I'm about to tell y'all what he did. So I got denied the reasonable accommodation, but my doctor, um, and I didn't get denied until after this, but my doctor prescribed me physical therapy for 6 weeks. And so not only did I not have to go back to the red meat training for 6 weeks, but I wasn't going out of town, period, for 6 weeks because I had to be in town for my physical therapy. And see, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. And God He just simply, He set me down for a while, and I'm so grateful for that. So my biggest worry was whether I was gonna work day shift or night shift. And let's see what happened after that. So y'all not gonna believe that as soon as my physical therapy was over, they were planning to send me back to red meat training. Something happened. I caught COVID. I caught COVID, and I was out for 2 weeks, and I wasn't able to go to physical therapy. So my 6 weeks ended up turning into 8 weeks. God is faithful, even though it had to happen that way. No, I'm still grateful for that. And so, my face is so greasy, y'all. Ugh. But I finally finished physical therapy, and they were on me like white on rice to go back to this red meat training. And I'm just believing God that He's going to do something. Now, by this time, I'm applying for jobs because I've had enough. And I see now that my knees can't handle the red meat training. And once you get that training completed, they said they wouldn't, but they were going to start sending me to those red meat plants. And there are none in Arkansas. There are a couple, but they're real small. So I was going to be touching Kansas often. And, God knew my heart, and that wasn't for me. And so I had applied for jobs, and I was, going through the process of just looking for a job kind of low key. Some people knew, but it was low key. And I finally, they were planning to send me to red meat training, and I was still believing in God, that He was going to do something. And I finally got a call back for a position, my current position, as a finance technician. And it was the USDA, but I was going to be switching agencies. And so I'm now with the Agriculture Marketing Agency, and I'm a finance technician, and I now work in Little Rock. And so not only did I get this new position, but able to work in Little Rock. So I'm going to be traveling about an hour a day there and back, so about 2 hours a day driving. And there were going to be some telework opportunities. So not only did I get my new position, but I can work from home some days. And so for a mother coming off of the highway, just kind of dealing with the fact that she wasn't present for her family, to go from that to this was nothing but a blessing from the Most High God. Like, it was nothing but a blessing from God. And I told everybody about it, and they was just so grateful. They were blown away by the things that God had done, because they were already blown away by the fact that I was going to be at home for 6 weeks. And then it turned to 8 weeks, and they were just watching God work. And everybody, we were all watching God work out in my favor. And He is so faithful. He is so faithful. He says He'll never leave, He'll never forsake you. And He did not leave me. And the whole time, y'all, kicking and screaming, I knew I was within the will of God. And now, what I'm dealing with today is just confirmation. But anyway, I interviewed for this new position, and I actually got the position, and I got a testimony in the testimony, but I'm going to share that one on a separate video. But just know that God was working with me in a completely different way, and He had broken my heart in a whole nother way. And I'm going to share that on another video. But Satan was moving in my life also. He was trying to keep me from the very point that I'm at now. He knew what he was doing, because when God gives you a testimony and you're willing to share it and you want to use it for the betterment of other people, the devil can't afford for that to happen. And so I say and so, and I am a lot. I realize that myself. I'm new to this. I'm not camera shy, but I'm not used to being on a camera like this, so y'all bear with me. I pray that my testimony is powerful enough for y'all to overlook that stuff. So I go through the process to get this job, and it was like so long before they got back with me. And I was just believing God, and I had made a move of obedience. And the day that I took a step of obedience, I got the offer for this job. And without a shadow of a doubt, I was going to accept it. God had relieved me. I was not going back to red meat training. I was not going back on the road. Y'all, I did not go back on the road. Not only did God keep me home for physical therapy, but I never went out of town again, y'all. So after what they did to me in Arkansas, I feel like the Lord gave me double for my trouble. He gave me a double portion of peace, and He let me stay at home. I was at home. I didn't go back ever after that. And I accepted the position. I got my start date. I started the job August 28th, I think, 2022. And I was just shy of a year. Now, y'all, I took a slight pay cut to go to this new position. I did. But it wasn't about no pay cut. It was about God moved me out of that season. He took me off of the highway, and He spared me from going back to that red meat training, which would probably have exacerbated my knee problem even more. And so today I have been in my position for a little over 6 months. And y'all, I went into that office, and I was so enthused about the new job. I have wonderful trainers, 2 ladies that are training me. And just a fun fact about my new position, they had not had a new person in, I think they told me 11 years. And so not only was I the newest person coming into the office in such a long time, but all of the ladies are older than me. And so I look at them as though they are mother figures. And God keeps putting me around older people. And I know it's probably because I'm an older soul, and because He wants me to gain more wisdom. And so I'm grateful for it, for my environment that He placed me in. These are God-fearing women. Faith is something that we are able to connect, with. And so I'm grateful that we have something in common. And so I go into my new job, and I'm training, and the training was probably the best part of my job up until this point, because something happened. I felt myself seemingly being ungrateful, not happy, missing my old job, just kind of living in the past with it, not missing the situation, but really missing the people, and really missing the work that I was doing, because I'm in a whole new field of work now, from inspection to finance. And so it is still USDA. And I learned a lot of things in my old job that helped me in my new job. And so God knows. He knows. And y'all, to make a long story short, after my training, like after the initial part of my training, I was able to start working in the area that I was going to be covering. And I was miserable. I was miserable every day, kicking and screaming again. After what the Lord had just done for me, I was still like, come on. Like, come on. What's going on, God? And the thing about me is that I knew that God's will was still prevailing in my life. And I knew that I was going to come out on the end of it and I was going to be better. And so I went every day, y'all, and I would just break down. I would just be sniffing and snotting and crying every day. Y'all, up until a week ago. Okay? Today is February the 17th. February 1st through 5th. I was crying. Yeah, I was still crying every day. And I knew that the enemy, I knew that he was trying to do something to me. He was trying to get me to step outside of the will of God. See, the thing about the government is when you take a new position, you can't leave it for 90 days. And so, to be honest, I was so unhappy that I was like, God, I got to get out of this one. I got to go now. And little did I know, I couldn't go. I didn't even know right away that I couldn't go. It was a little bit after that I found out I had to wait 90 days. And so I'm waiting on the 90th day so I can get out of there. And y'all, in my spirit, I just knew God's will. I was afraid to step outside of it. And so even though I would look at other jobs, I didn't apply. I did not go forth to actually pursue another job because I held to that little feeling in my spirit that God was keeping me there for a reason and that I was going to have to learn to go higher in Him. And so at some point, I would wear my headphones every day. And I would cry most of the morning, but then I would put on a YouTube video or something like this, and it would give me so much hope. And I would watch the videos, and I would just lose myself in YouTube and do the best I could with my work because I was catching on quickly. They were like, Courtney, you're so smart. You know, you're getting this very fast. And I've always given my best to my jobs. So when I go in there, I go in and I kick the doors down. And I was learning everything, and they were kind of letting me be more independent on some things. And my mind was just so bogged down, but I was so remorseful for feeling ungrateful, for crying every day, for not really appreciating the blessing that God gave me like I thought that I should have. And God still kept me. He kept me. He put videos in my path to watch that gave me strength on a daily basis to the point where I was dependent on those videos. That the only way I could get through work is if I had my headphones and I could kind of disappear from the office, for lack of better words. Excuse me, I feel nasally now. But I kept going, and I told Jermaine at some point, you know, although I want to leave this job so bad, it's such a strong part of me that feels like God wants to even use this for my good. And so I cannot move. I can't get out of His will. And y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward. I cried every day. I cried every day. I was still professional. I was still nice. I looked forward to being sick because when you're sick, you can use your sick days. And so when I was sick, I was kind of happy about it because I could call in sick. And so when I got sick or my babies were sick, I wouldn't hesitate to use my leave. That way I didn't have to go up there and cry all day. And fast forward to let's just